Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Kingdom Come Deliverance. It's been a minute. Just before you get too excited, today is a bit of a, where are we up to, where have we been, where are we going? It's not going to be a super long one. Probably. I don't know, see how things go. But it's going to be a lot of catching up and figuring stuff out and probably not progressing a ton of story. It's been about a month and a half, 2 months since Kingdom Come. Almost. Not quite. Kind of. Anyway. A lot has happened in that time. Now, it is currently 6:57 PM on Thursday the 25th of July 2024. And let's just say, for the purposes of things to making, sense, poor Henry here. Poor Henry here. Let's say he caught the plague. He got a bit sick. He took a knock to the head. And his memory's a little bit foggy. His reflexes are a little bit foggy. But the best medics in the land that Sir Divish could find said that he should be back to full strength relatively soon. But until then, maybe he should avoid getting into any big fights, any life or death situations. He might forget some names here or there. He might forget some conversations that he's had in the past. But he's alright. He's alright. There's no permanent damage. Now, because we're back, kind of, little explanation of what happened while Henry was sick. So, Henry had a pretty high fever. And he was out of action for a little while. He was having fever dreams of faraway lands and fantastical creatures. Fever dreams of places that he can only remember glimpses of. Places called Ferelden. Places called the Shadowlands. Things like Erd trees and the Blight, Darkspawn, of real witches and wizards, Templars of the Church, dragons. But Henry knows that they were all hallucinations. Because Henry once lockpicked a horse's butt. And Henry knows that wasn't real either. Henry's just having a little bit of a walk around Tarnberg today. Just trying to get his bearings. It's his first day properly out of bed. His strength's slowly coming back to him. Lady Stephanie said he should go out and pick some flowers. Stretch his legs. Maybe have a chat with a couple of people. The local folk know of Henry. They know of the deeds that he's done to help. But he hasn't met everybody. They know that he was sick with some sort of sickness, so people were worried that it was the plague, of course, but it didn't seem to be contagious. I love that dude's little fishing net. It's such a cool little fishing net. I like that. I gotta wait for a fish to come past so you can grab it, but I like it. Maybe we'll have a splash of water. Someone there? Yeah, me. I am here. Hello? Ooh, he's got a little smoking tent. He was told not to go too far from town, though. They don't know how foggy his mind is. He seems fine. They wouldn't want him to get lost in the woods. Hello. He was told to wander around town, and there's still some hallucinations that he feels like he's seeing in day-to-day life, like floating tents. But they've got to be hallucinations, right? He does remember the nice ladies from down at the bathhouse. Not quite the same as the ones back home. But they do give adequate massages, all the same.
Good health to you.
I'd like to make use of the bathhouse's services.
So, what are you interested in?
To have a massage,
I'd
please.
like a private bath.
And a really good massage.
I'm sure you'll be extremely satisfied.
A satisfying massage that everybody gets into and everybody enjoys, and it's just really fun and nice, and it's good. Really stretches out the muscles, you know? And it has been quite a long time for Henry. He's not sure if days have passed or if it's been weeks, months even. But he has missed getting a good massage. Sometimes massages end a little bit too quick. But that's okay. Henry forgives them. Hello. He does remember sometimes people like to sing backwards, though. He feels like he's been gone for so long, and he's lived so many other lives. He remembers that when he was in this distant land that maybe he read about in a book, this place called Ferelden, that he met the king's son. And he was a nobleman. Living in a land much like the land that we're in today, but all these fantastical elements started to creep into the stories. Stories that he heard as a kid. Stories that the church would not be happy with. About demons and devils. Darkspawn. He remembers one demon that was... She was beautiful, but he knows that it was all a deception. The last thing he remembers is he was helping a group of witches in a great tower. Bigger than any building he'd ever seen before. Maybe something like they'd have in Prague. He's heard stories about Prague, but never been there himself. Maybe it was the stories about Prague that ran away in his mind. The witches in the tower, they couldn't leave because the brave knights of the church were keeping them in there. As the devils were trying to steal their souls or something. He can't remember much of the dream, it's all fading, but he drifted to another dream. Dream of lands between. A dream of a great golden tree. An Erd tree. Not that he knows what that means. Or was it? Was it a skidoo tree? It was grand. Larger than even the tower in his mind. Larger than all the armies could build in a lifetime. Bigger than any castle he'd seen. The dream got strange. He remembers fighting a giant sunflower at the base of it. And a man riding a giant boar that had armor plates. Flights of fancy stories by children. Make believe. And yet, in all of his dreams, there was always the undertone of faith, of belief, of that feeling that there was always something greater, something godly watching over everything. The Grand Order, the Maker. They say that during his worst moments of being sick, because when he first became sick, he became dizzy and fell and hit his head. They didn't think he was going to make it. But in these stories, he felt like there was someone there with him. Like somebody was looking out for him. Because why else would he have these dreams? These dreams that had the Maker and the Order and tests of faith. If it wasn't some sort of good Christian presence, he feels that Jesus was with him. Henry was never a man of faith. He believed, sure, but he always had questions. Maybe this was a sign to show him that he needed to keep that faith strong. It was a miracle to bring him through the sicknesses that he had. That's why his belief in faith and his dreams, his hallucinations, whatever you may call them, his visions of false gods and corruption. Maybe it was something that his mind needed to work through while he was sick, while he was ill. He has a lot to think about now that he's of sound mind, and dreams aren't necessarily the thing that you can go to church and talk to Father Godwin about. A lot of people probably wouldn't believe that he'd seen the things that he saw. When he did talk to Lady Stephanie about it. He mentioned it. She said to him that it was all a silly dream. She laughed and dismissed it. Moved on. But it felt like it was more than a dream for Henry. It felt like he was really there. For a brief second, it felt like magic was actually real. But it didn't feel like a brief second. It felt like a fleeting moment in time, but also... it also felt like months of his life. The medic said that he'd only been asleep for days. Wasn't that long that had passed. The war hadn't changed. The Cumans hadn't conquered the land. Privoslavets hadn't gone to ruin. He'd been told not much time had passed at all. No more than would pass from going on a trip, spending a few days in town shopping or cleaning his armor, tending to his horse. No great time had been lost, and yet he feels like so much time had been gained. Feels that so many things had happened in his mind. The questions he had before may have been not answered, but reframed in a different light. He feels like things had changed, and now, while he may not have those questions anymore, he has different questions. Questions of more information, questions of, well, only those kinds of learned scholars that he always assumed. The monks with their nose buried in dusty books. They'd ask such deep questions of faith that he never thought that much time of. In the past, he might have had questions of whether or not God could look out for so many people at once. And why the Lord Jesus would allow such terrible things to happen, like his parents, like all the people of this entire land. Bohemia in general is on fire. Why would a good Lord allow that? But now his questions became deeper and so much more complex. So many questions about existence. About who Henry was in the grand scheme of things. A mere blacksmith's son? The nobleman of a house overturned by a rival? An outcast? A wizard? Clearly not. He might be able to make a few concoctions to heal some wounds or help him sleep on a night where he really shouldn't be able to. He knew how to poison a man. He knew how to make somebody sleep without dreams. But that didn't make him a wizard. He feels in this other dream that he could he could reach out and touch the source of magic. With a staff in his hand, he could conjure great spirits. Being awake, this could only be the work of the devil, of course. But in that moment, it didn't feel like the devil. He felt strong. He couldn't go hunting for magic now. People would call him crazy. He'd be locked up in the monastery forever. Or worse. And he had a lot of good things going for him in life at the moment. He didn't want to jeopardize that. Maybe you should write them down in a journal. He'd have to get a bit better at reading and writing for that, but maybe he could get somebody to help him with it. One of those scholars. With the money that he'd earned just from traveling around, and now the money coming in from Privoslavets, now that it was fully repaired, he might have the money to do it. To hire one of those scholars to help him put his thoughts on paper. Get them all in order. He had fleeting moments of dreams from other stories as well, but almost as if they were ones that he hadn't lived yet. Ones that he wanted to live. Ones that he felt he wanted to think about more in the future. One of his dreams, he was a teenager again. Well, he is now, but younger. And he was a wizard. Going to a school for wizards. In a great castle. Full of all sorts of wondrous magics. Things that were hard for him to put into words. But they flew on brooms like witches. The staircases moved. They had little creatures like goblins that they called house elves. And of course, goblins, which were not house elves. It was a beautiful little town, much like Tarnberg. They called it Hogsmeade. Unlike these dreams of Ferelden and the lands between, it was only moments and flashes in time that he saw of these. But he wanted to look into them more, to see if he could find a way to experience them properly. Another fleeting dream was one that was very different. There were buildings of stone, much like castles, everywhere. It was an entire city of castles. They were all so tall. They all had panes of light, as if sunlight was shining through stained glass. There were a lot of wagons, but they were loud and they weren't pulled by horses. People would get swords. They would be strapped into their arms, or stitched in. They had small bows. Things that could fire and launch almost like they were loud. People could talk to each other from very far away, as if they were standing next to them. There were apparitions. He had a good friend. A good friend. Named Jackie. But they passed away. He was very sad. Funnily enough, Jackie left him his horse. His horse was different. Was armored, cold. It wasn't like Pebbles or Shadowmere or Trojan. It was different. Had a lantern. Lantern instead of eyes. Henry thought too much about these dreams. He'd go insane himself. Another dream was different again. He was the captain on a great ship, sent out in a great dark ocean. Where he was from was being invaded. Invaded by some people around him. They were like great creatures. He took his ship and sailed around this great dark ocean. He assembled a crew and went on grand adventures. He made friends, enemies, lovers. So many adventures. All in an instant. On this ship in this ocean, those around him, they called him the shepherd. Although he doesn't remember having any sheep. And maybe that was just another reference to a shepherd of the church. It was very confusing. His mind felt scrambled. Like he'd lived lives, or was going to live lives beyond his own. But that wouldn't make sense. The church taught Henry that when he passed on from this world, as long as he lived a good life, a God-fearing life, that he would end up in the kingdom of heaven. Not sailing a grand metal ship through a dark ocean, or being a wizard in a distant castle. He wouldn't be riding a metal horse with a lantern instead of eyes. Him, just like everybody else here, would either be in the kingdom of heaven or be sent to be tormented in hell. Henry hoped his parents were in heaven. They deserve to be somewhere nice. While they were hard at times, they were always kind. They were good parents. Would have helped if his father had taught him slightly more about blacksmithing, so that he could craft his own gear. But hey, you know, you can't have everything in life. There were so many other dreams that Henry experienced or felt like he would experience. After the fever dreams and the hallucinations, the dreams themselves hadn't stopped. They kept going. The past few nights he'd had more. Most recently he'd had a dream. He'd had a dream that he was going around destroying castles, knocking them down with such large machines. He'd get in there with a sledgehammer, grand hammer, the type of warhammer that you'd take into battle, and he'd be knocking down walls. Some people wanted him to tear down castles, tear down people's homes, to steal paintings that he thought really weren't worth the effort of stealing. Or some of these wagons, these horseless carts. Some people would say that he was tormented by these strange dreams. Henry doesn't feel like they were tormenting. He felt like they were some of the stories that he'd read in his books about Hercules and all sorts of other fantastical creatures. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe Henry'd been reading too many books. Maybe he shouldn't be reading anymore. Maybe he should take a break. Go to church more. Pray more. But if these dreams, or at least some of them, are from God or some sort of higher presence, maybe he should embrace them. Maybe he should enjoy these stories. Maybe he should be writing them down. Maybe he should be experiencing them. Remembering them. Putting them down in books for other people to experience and enjoy. Henry's a simple man. All that sort of thing. He's not some fancy pants scholar. He's just Henry. Henry of Skalitz. And he's back. Henry's also been weirdly hearing things like splashing water when he's standing on a rock halfway up a hill. See, that's where, that last line of the he's back, that'd be where we'd, like, fade to black. And it'd be like, oh, that's a cool place to end it. It'd be like, yeah, and then it's like coming into, like, season 2 of Kingdom Come Deliverance. But yeah, no, we're not, we can't, because I've got more things to say. One thing is that in the next one, we are going to talk to Sir Divish about the fact that Privoslavitz is complete. Right? Because effectively, this episode is me just walking around picking flowers. So, like, I'm probably not going to be progressing anything. We're just walking around. We're just doing stuff. Because this episode isn't going to be numbered. Either. Which, if you're on YouTube, you know that already, but... And because I'm not doing this live, I guess... Well... I don't really need to explain that then, do I? But, basically we will be doing a bunch more Kingdom Come Deliverance. I don't know how I'm going to break it up. I don't know how I'm going to put the episodes together. Whether or not I'm going to do like 3 or 4 and spread them out to be once a week, or if I'm going to power through the game or whatever. We do have a whole bunch of other stuff on the go. Obviously the roleplay part of this is pretty much over. But, I have been playing a few different games. We have been playing the Shadow of the Erdtree DLC. We've been playing a bit of Dragon Age Origins, that sort of thing. I'm pretty sure in the last episode I was sick with, we'll call it the plague. But yeah, I was sick with that. Yeah. But we're better now. We're better now. We're good now. Yeah. But now, considering that I am currently at the final boss, the final challenge of that Shadow of the Erdtree DLC, which is going to be a big day. By the time this is up live, I probably will have done it, maybe. Maybe I'll be doing it the day after this comes out, I can't remember. I don't know. I don't predict the future. But either way, there is definitely some stuff that is going to be done to wrap that one up. I'm currently in Dragon Age Origins in the Mage's Tower. On Lake Iliad. Maybe Lake Iliad. Mate, trying to keep all the names of different things down is melting my brain. But we're doing that at the moment as well, even though I haven't touched that in almost as long as I haven't touched this. But we have a bunch of stuff to do there. But I want to come in and want to do some more Kingdom Come Deliverance. I feel like I've given it enough of a break. Mentally, for me. And it is time that we do some more. It's time that we do some more, because Henry's got a lot of loose ends to tie up. Henry's got a lot of loose ends to tie up. And I'm pretty sure it was an episode or two ago that I was like, this is the start of Season 2. It wasn't. It was kind of just like an epilogue, I guess, where I worked on Privoslavitz and wrapped things up there. Which we will finalise in the next episode of this, where we talk to Sir Divish, unless there's more after that. I don't know. I don't know if there is. But we've got a bunch of different things to do. So part of what I'm doing in this one is we're doing a bit of a stock take and getting a bit of a plan going of what we need to do going forward. I am just still picking flowers because I'm still rambling and thinking about stuff. But we'll go back to the castle in a second, and we'll have a look at our quest log and see what we're going to do in the future after talking to Sir Divish about Privoslavitz. Also, we're leveling our herbalism, which we don't really get to do. So, hey, bonus. But yeah, so I have a bunch of different things that I want to play going forward. I want to do the Mass Effect trilogy. I don't know if I'll do 1, 2, and 3 back to back. I'm tempted, but that's a lot of hours, and I might burn out on it. But I do love those games. I love that trilogy. I want to do Hogwarts Legacy. Hogwarts Legacy is something that I've had sitting there for a little bit. I still need to do the rest of Fallen Order. The Fallen Order is also on the go. That's the Jedi Fallen Order Star Wars one. There is more of... what is this? It's just Valerian from a weird angle. You're still here splashing and shit. So weird. Hello. Oh, I'm overloaded, am I? Too many flowers, eh? I don't even think there's a shop in town here. Don't I have a house here somewhere? No, this one. Pretty sure I got a house. Yeah, I do, up here. Alright, well, let's head up to our house. And pick flowers along the way, because we're already over encumbered anyway, so why not? But yeah, so... I want to do them. I want to do Cyberpunk, because I've been so keen for Cyberpunk, but I keep putting it off and putting it off and putting it off. There's a lot of stuff that I want to do. And I go through these bursts of being really keen to do things and play through things, and then stopping and burning out and not doing anything for like 3 weeks. Yeah, I want to do Oblivion as well. So Oblivion is up there. Playing a little bit of Teardown at the moment, which I'm loving. Up this way? No, it was the next one, wasn't it? It's all the way up there. Oh no, it's kind of up this way. Hey, he's singing in backwards. Good on you, bud. But, is there dice here? We play dice? Dice? Hey, fellas, let's play some dice. Hello. Villager, 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 eh? Listen, you have the cooler hat. I'm gonna challenge you.
God bless. Can I help you?
Let's play dice.
You up for a throw or two?
Oh yeah, he's got the money. He's got the cash. Let's do it.
Good luck.
I feel like almost that it's... I kind of don't want to play with these die so much anymore, you know?
I can't wait to see how you throw.
Like, unless I need to go into a tournament or something, just day-to-day playing. I don't necessarily need the money anymore, you know? Either that or I make the rule that I have to go all in. Or not at all. What is that? But yeah, I want to play all these different things. I want to get into them. And I plan to.
Huh.
Yeah, take the one, mate.
That's it.
I want to do Fable. You need to do the Fable trilogy. I know people have different opinions over the quality of the different Fable games, but I want to play through them. Just because they're fun, and they're funny to me. I really enjoyed them. I kind of want to see if they hold up. They probably don't, but I want to see if they do. And then we have Kingdom Come 2 coming out, which is going to be a whole another thing. Kingdom Come 2 is out supposedly this year. I don't think we have a specific release date yet, but I mean,
If I was in your
should be.
shoes, I'd pass while the going's good.
Here's your chicken. Actually, let's do this one. We'll do that one, and then roll again.
Not afraid of anything, eh?
So many things. Are they 3s? That's a 2. Ugh.
Use your head, man. You'll lose everything.
Yeah, I know. Exciting, huh? Oh, wow.
If I was in your shoes, I'd pass while the going's good.
Is that 555? It is.
Use your head, man. You'll lose everything.
Roll again.
That won't happen again, surely?
Wait, is that a 4?
All right.
Yeah, okay, that's a 4. So that's gonna let me win. But we have a 33% chance of that 4 being a 1 or a 5. Now, it's actually higher than that because these are loaded die. So let's see if we get a 1 or a 5.
Oh, come on. It's time I had a throw.
Ah, roll again.
Use your head, man. You'll lose everything.
1, 1, 5, 1. That'll do.
Good game.
Thanks, man. Did you enjoy watching? Thanks. I know. I cheated real hard.
My pleasure.
Alright, well, we'll head back to the house. We'll head back to the house. And then we'll have a look at the quests that we've got. Pick some more flowers along the way. We're already over encumbered anyway, so why not, right? I wonder if they had the intention of making all of these sorts of bunches of flowers stuff, but then they were just like, nah. Or if they were like, well, some of the flowers can't be used for concoctions, because that doesn't make sense. Either way, I want to know. I'm curious. I'm curious. I believe that my chest is in this way. Close that door. Living so close to the edge of town. Well, no, it is the edge of town. Living so far away from town proper, up on this hill, makes me feel like I'm going to be attacked by wolves. Okay, so we got shields and stuff, that's good. We have our helmet and stuff, which is also good. I'm just prepping some bits and pieces. What does Buck's Blood do? Stamina potion to improve your endurance. Okay, well that can go in there. Keep the maps. That's a lot of dandelions. That's a lot of dandelions. Ditch the eye bright. Ditch the wormwood, the valerian, the thistles, the St. John's wort, the sage, the marigold, the nettle, and 16 poppies, because we still need 30 flowers on us. Otherwise we don't get our buff. Did we get a point at all? Oops. Did we? Nope. Oops. There it is. Maybe. Reading. Bugger, bugger, bugger. When do we get points for herbalism? 15. Oh man. What are the perks that we've got coming up? If your horse has enough fragrant herbs in its saddle's bag, it will shy less. The herbs you sell at 50% higher price. That's pretty good. I'll be taking that one. Anywho. But yeah, so that's why we've had such a big break in Kingdom Come. Because I've just been enjoying some other stuff. Now, quest log. So. Yawn. So, after we talk to Sir Divish, we'll see if there is anything else to do with that. Maybe we head back to Privoslavitz and talk to, it's not Marcus, but it's similar to that. Marius? Talk to Marius. And, oh yeah, there it is written at the top. Maybe do something like that. Now, that's only going to take maybe 10 minutes. Unless there's more to it. So... these are just side activities. Someone's... sounds like they're putting up paintings in another room, then drilling holes in walls. So... surprised that Bird in the Hand is a quest and not a side activity, but... we haven't decided on the Cuman's fate. Skalitz Mineworks is standing idle, still damaged by the Cuman raid. It's time to assess the state they're in and start the job of getting them back up and running if possible. Okay. This one, I don't need livestock. Maybe I do. Maybe because I don't have a butcher, I need livestock, but that's going to cost more. And then this one is the Cuman disguises. So, this is for Fritz and Matthew. Let's see now. This episode is not really an episode. Let's see if we've got was it something about Cuman captains? Hold on. Fritz and Matthew hatched a plan, which usually means lots of fun and lots of mischief. I found out that Fritz really did know Andrew, the local innkeeper. They weren't exactly the best of mates, though. I had to talk Andrew the innkeeper into working with us. In the end, he agreed to help with arranging the hold-ups. Let's hope we haven't bitten off more than we can chew. Andrew insists we need disguises for the hold-ups, Cuman outfits, that is, and he told me where I can probably find some Cumans. I have to get hold of 3 Cuman helmets. The important thing is that they have to have visors to cover the whole face. I've got to get a hold of 3 Cuman suits of armor. Okay. I thought they had to be good ones? Didn't they have to, or did it when I picked up a good one? It was like, oh yeah. We might do that first. Let's have a look in our bottomless box, our ender chest, and see if we can find 3 sets of Cuman armor. Because I probably have sold many sets of Cuman armor over time. Okay, we got a Cuman captain's helmet. Shishaks don't count. Okay. So we have... oh, I thought they said I had 18 of them for a second there. And then... like, I need the Cuman sets of armor, but do I need, like, full sets? Like, what's the go? 3 Cuman helmets with faceplates. Do they not... oops. Do they not count as 3 suits of Cuman armor? I guess they're like... that's alright. Usually I sell them because they're pretty garbage. But we can get more easy enough. They're like riding breeches and boots and harnesses and you name it. Take that, see if it counts. Are there more or are they all called Cuman something? I've got the House of Zool set too, that looks kind of cool. So much shit that I need to sell. Ah, ornamented Cuman shishak? Maybe these count. Red, reinforced, riveted. Warhorse stuff, clothes, the other bits and pieces. Okay. Increases Cuman armor, that counts as one. Human? No, Cuman. Caftans don't count. Alright, so let's move them back. I mean, it might be because they're broken, but I doubt it. And then... the ornamented shishak. Okay. Nope, second page. Alright, so we're gonna have to go get some more. But that's okay. That's perfectly fine. So maybe we'll go do that next. So after we tell him Privoslavitz is okay. It's all good to go. We have Masquerade on the go. And... I suppose the King Silver? Could be a close third of what the plan is. It's very dark in Henry's house. But yeah, so that's the plan. That's where we've been. It helped get me up to speed as well, which is also good because I'm gonna forget people's names. I'm gonna forget certain running jokes that I had just because it's been a month and a half or so since the last time I played. But I do apologise if I get people's names wrong. Like Marius before. I wanted to call him Marcus. Fuck, I don't even remember. But I wish we had a normal bed. Yeah, we'll get some stuff. We'll get some stuff done, some stuff sorted. Some bits and pieces on the go. And hopefully everything will be sweet. Now, I don't know when the next episode is going to be. Just saying. I mean, worst case scenario, another month and a half from now, I'm like, oh, I guess I'll do some more Kingdom Come. But I am really hoping to get it all out of the way before the second one comes out. That'd be good. If not, worst case scenario, in that case, we just keep going. And we keep playing. And the second one gets me super hyped to finish the first one. Because we've got main story to do. I think we've still got a couple of expansions to do. I think it'll be a good time all around. But I know that there is definitely a few of you out there that are like, can you please finish it? Can you continue and like do more? Yes. The answer is yes. I just can't put a time frame on it. I can't guarantee that it's going to be out, you know, in the next week or two, that I start back in the next week or two or whatever. This is kind of a bit of an update. This is kind of a bit of an in-between, you know, whatever. It is what it is. But in the meantime, I do have some other bits and pieces that I'm going to finish in some other games first. I'm debating whether or not to finish Dragon Age Origins before I finish this. I'll figure that out later, I guess. If you see a bunch more Dragon Age Origin episodes before you see more of this, then you know what I decided on. But I could chop and change. It is just the way it is. There is one other thing. I do want to wish Albatross a happy birthday. And I hope that her birthday has been amazing so far. I hope that she hasn't felt too tired because of all the medical stuff that's been happening. And I hope that she's had a good day and is having a good weekend. But yes. As for everybody else, I hope you're also having a good day or a good weekend or a good afternoon or whatever, and you've been enjoying yourselves. And happy birthday for whenever your birthday is in the year. If you're watching this tomorrow, 10 years from now, or long after I'm gone, you're awesome. And I am sure you'll hear from me and Henry again. I'll catch you next time. See ya.